Imagine waking up on a Tuesday morning. The sun is hitting your desk, and for the first time in years, there is no knot in your stomach. You aren't rushing to an alarm that feels like a siren. You aren't calculating how much gas is left in the tank just to get you to a job that doesn't care if you exist. You check your accounts, and the numbers are higher than when you went to bed. This isn't a dream. This isn't luck. It is flow. It is the result of a system built on sovereignty. But let's get real. Right now, you are likely living in stagnation. You walk past the mailbox hoping the light bill isn't in there yet, because you know the balance is a razor's edge. You are trading 40 hours of your soul every single week for a paycheck that is already spent before it even hits your account. If that gap between where you are and where you want to be feels like a canyon, it's because you've been sold a lie. You've been told to play a game that was rigged against you in 1995. In 2026, the old rules are dead. If you want sovereignty, you don't need a new job. You need a new operating system for your mind. I know exactly how heavy that light bill feels. I remember sitting in a dark apartment, calculating if I had enough change in the cup holder of my car to buy a loaf of bread and a gallon of milk. I felt the quiet desperation of being behind at 35, watching people on social media showing a life I couldn't comprehend. I thought the answer was to work harder at my dead-end job. I thought if I just showed more loyalty, the system would eventually notice me and reward me. But loyalty to a broken system is just a slow form of suicide for your dreams. I had to realize that my 9-to-5 wasn't a prison. It was my venture capital. I had to stop being a victim of my circumstances and start being the architect of my flow. There are 6 foundational shifts that change everything. Shift 1 is moving from scarcity to infinite abundance. Most people were raised to believe that money is a finite pie. They think if someone else gets a big slice, there is less for them. This is the scarcity trap. It keeps you small, it keeps you jealous, and it keeps you poor. In a digital, AI-driven economy, value is infinite. Money is just energy that flows toward whoever solves the biggest problems. If you view the world through a straw, you will never see the ocean. You must decide today that there is enough for you, provided you are willing to create the value to earn it. The universe doesn't have a budget, only people do. Shift 2 is moving from cutting expenses to expanding revenue. I despise the gurus who tell you to skip your $5 coffee to become a millionaire. You cannot pinch your way to 6 figures from a dead-end salary. If you make $50,000 a year and you cut every single joy out of your life, you are still only saving pennies while losing your mind. Your time is far better spent figuring out how to make $500,000 than figuring out how to save $5. Stop looking at the expense line and start looking at the revenue line. Use your 9-to-5 to pay your bills, but use your extra time to buy the skills that the market actually pays for. Revenue solves problems that a coupon never will. Shift 3 is moving from trading time to creating systems. If your income is tied to your clock, you have a hard ceiling on your life. You only have 24 hours in a day, and no matter how hard you work, you cannot manufacture more time. Wealthy thinkers move away from effort and move toward leverage. They use software, they use AI, and they build assets that work while they sleep. This is the shift from effort to output. A dead-end job demands your presence. A sovereign business demands your systems. If you don't find a way to decouple your income from your hours, you will be a slave to the clock until the day you die. Shift 4 is moving from external blame to radical responsibility. I hear the skeptics. I hear the voice in your head saying, but the economy is rigged, or my boss is a tyrant, or the housing market is impossible. I hear you, and you might even be right, but blaming them gives them the power over your future. Radical responsibility means accepting that even if the problem isn't your fault, the solution is entirely your responsibility. No one is coming to save you. Not the government, not your boss, and not luck. You are the only person who can pick the lock on your cage. When you stop blaming, you start building. Shift 5 is moving from short-term gratification to long-term vision. We live in an era of instant dopamine. We want the win now, the car now, and the status now. But real wealth is built in what I call the guilt gap. It is that period where you finally have the money to buy the flashy things, but you choose to invest it instead. It is the discipline to stay bored and stay consistent while your assets compound in the background. Most people quit right before the flow starts because they cannot handle the silence of the growth phase. They want the harvest before they've even finished the planting. Sovereignty requires a clock that ticks in years, not days. Shift 6 is moving from having to becoming. This is the ultimate identity shift. Most people think they will feel confident and powerful once they have the money. It works the other way. You must adopt the identity of a 6-figure earner before the bank account reflects it. You must protect your time like it's worth $1,000 an hour. You must curate your circle and audit the people who pull you back into stagnation. You must act with the authority of someone who knows exactly where they are going. If you wait for the money to give you permission to be great, you will be waiting forever. Competence and character must precede the cash. In this 2026 landscape, hard work has become a commodity. AI and algorithms can work harder, faster, and cheaper than any human being. What the market rewards now is judgment, creativity, and sovereignty. The old advice of keeping your head down and working your way up is a recipe for being replaced. The new path is to build your own brand, own your own assets, and control your own flow. The walls are down and the gates are open. The only thing stopping you is the old outdated software running in your head. I want to hear from you. We all have a different version of what freedom looks like. For some, it is the simple peace of never seeing a past due notice again. For others, it is the ability to walk away from a toxic job and work from anywhere in the world. Comment below, what does sovereign choice look like for you? Define it clearly and without apology, because you cannot hit a target that you haven't set. Don't just watch this video and move on to the next distraction. Take one piece of this, one single shift, and fit it into your own path today. Keep the flow moving. Stay unapologetic about your ambition. And I will see you in the next one.